What did you really do, bro, those first couple years to really stay locked in and continue to focus, even though, you weren't playing, coaches yelling at you, getting on you, you might have lost a little bit of your confidence, right? Feeling
Yeah,
that you might not belong. What did you do to stay locked in? Who helped you? What are some of the things that you did on a daily basis to really stay there?
Yeah, that's a good question, man, because it was a lot of things, to be honest. Like, and it had up and downs, man. Like there was days when I was like, man, like this might not be it, like I don't feel like it, like you lose your confidence sometimes because you have a bad practice and
Mhm.
you haven't played in a while and coach yelling at you and so it like goes up and down. But there was a bunch of people that that talked to me and like told me, for example, like outside of the coaching staff, because all of them always were like supportive and like there to help, like GMAC Red, and Griff, all of them. But outside of that, Rosie Bowie,
Oh yeah,
Roosevelt, he
absolutely.
was, yeah, since my freshman year, man, he been telling me like, yo, like I went through what you went through. Like I was skinny, I was a lanky dude. I was just working my ass off every day, and I mean, coach was coach back then too, So
Even
he
worse,
told,
bro.
yeah, no, exactly. Like I heard all this story. Like I know. Like people have been telling me, yeah, he's more calm now. So I was
Yeah, facts.
like how? Like, yeah. So that like that's motivating, man. Like they were like, yeah, and Itan Thomas,
Oh
same
yeah.
thing. Yeah, same thing. Like they supported me a lot, and like when I did play, they told me about the things that did like really well, and to focus on that, like to keep that in mind. Like, yeah, you're doing that like really well, like, and people will see that, and you'll keep growing on like those things, and like not to like keep being so hung up on like what you did bad, and to just keep bad and keep working, because that's the only way you're gonna, really find out what you can do. So yeah, those two for sure. My family a lot. Like, I mean, even though they're away, like we called a lot. So
Yeah.
my dad and my mom and both my brothers, my uncle even a lot, and my grandma. Like those are the main ones I talk to a lot. Um, yeah, man, and then just practicing every day, and then you have a good game, and that gives you like you remember those to build on, and then yeah, it was a bunch of stuff, man. And then even then, like there was times where I was like, man, like still like because there's at that point the transfer stuff was happening,
Yeah.
So like so many people were transferring out, and then you start thinking, is that a good idea? But like
Was that
uh,
something that like ever came to your mind that you really wanted to do, or it might have just been something like was there and then went away?
I would say like it was no, like the first years no, and then there was maybe one point where I started like thinking like could it be, but then first of all I didn't really want to leave,
Yeah.
so I was like maybe would it be better for my career, but then I was looking at people that left and I was like, is that better? Like, does that help? Like,
Yeah.
no.
It's definitely situational, right?
Yeah, and of course,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, situational, right? So you never know. Like sometimes it is better. Like, and then, but I didn't want to be that guy that like made a fast decision for myself, and then was like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to look back and be like damn, like I messed up, uh, and then at that point, it was right then like I started also getting some good games, some momentum, and then we had March Madness, and then I also talked to coach throughout that time. So like we both knew a little bit where we were at, and then it was never really uh, like a plan. I never had anything planned. It was just like in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And then yeah, after my second year, I had no intentions of leaving. I had all my focus on Cuse, and then last year it was like it was really,
Breakout. That
really,
was your breakout.
yeah. For me, it was like it was huge. Like we didn't really get the results. Like and also I got injured at the end, but it was huge for me for sure last year.
Well, because it kind of, began for you at the end, maybe middle towards the end of your sophomore year, because like you said, you started
Yeah,
getting time in that middle. I think it was one game in particular. I want to say Miami,
yeah,
maybe in your sophomore, where you just came in. It wasn't a lot, what I'm saying? You might have played 10, 12 minutes, but you could tell that you were in there for that time. Your presence was felt offensively and defensively, just being able to rim run and then, have your presence in the middle.
yeah,
That game, I could tell going forward, like you were like, all right, I could play with these dudes. Like I belong out
yeah,
here. And, we talked about last year, your junior year was really your breakout year, bro. 13 points a game, 7 boards. I want to say almost 2 or 3 blocks. But like one of the most impressive things is you're shooting from almost 70% from the field. And the last time a center at Cuse did that, it was my roommate, Renze Anawaku. I think he shot damn near, 68 or something like that, which is fucking hard to do, especially when, you're a big guy, you got all those guys bumping you and, being physical down there. So, kind of talk about that year, bro, not playing the first 2 years, coming into your junior year. I don't think people really had super high expectations, but they knew that you have improved and they saw the progression, but you turned yourself into an NBA prospect, bro. Kind of talk about that year and in the progressions that you went through. And then obviously eventually, you get hurt with the, broken wrist.
yeah,
Kind of talk about that. Now that's another, hurdle that you had to get over and, talk about that mental side of it as well, being hurt.
yeah. So yeah, and it was. I mean, at that point, I came off like you said, we had a good March Madness, went to Sweet 16. Um, and we pretty much had a lot of the same guys coming back, and a couple of transfers coming in cold. And like that year, yeah, with Sai coming in, of course. That year, so I was what March Madness did for me in the last couple of games was like it gave me like the final confirmation, like yeah, like you can play and impact at this level, because I had good games and I showed like I could help the team. So
Yeah.
that gave me that confidence to carry over into last year. And when I started last year, like you said, there wasn't like really any like there was people that were like, yeah, he can be really good, but like he hasn't. This is his first real, chance. And so starting that, like we pretty much like I had a couple good games from the start. Like it just felt good. The confidence was there. My teammates like kept finding me. I was in the right spots, and teams didn't really have a good way to like go around stopping me because we ran a bunch of good pick and rolls, some good sets, and yeah. But I just, to be honest, like I just played my ass off and just saw what happened. Like I didn't really, I just worked, played, and tried to keep my focus on solely that. Is that was my whole thing. Like I didn't try to make it bigger than it had to be. I was like, just go play ball and work your ass off every game to get the best out of it. And then when that started like taking off, I get more points, get more blocks, rebounds, like the confidence builds up. And yeah, it was just the flow I was in. And yeah,
So
until
what was there a point in that season where you
yeah,
like, man, fuck it, this shit, I'm an NBA prospect. I know you don't want to think too far ahead, but like you were
yeah,
playing like that. I tell people a lot, bro. You remind me of like a JaVale McGee type. You know what I'm saying? A guy who could really get up and down, make an impact as far as like getting lobs, being around the rim, alternate shot, blocking shots. You know what I mean? And shit, JaVale McGee got about 2-3 championships. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
from back home where I'm from Michigan. So I saw that in you But was there a point in that season, your junior year, and I know you got hurt against Boston College, and you didn't get hurt. The team was really just starting to roll. You know what I mean? Like before you got hurt. So we were trying to make that run to, get into the tournament. That's a whole nother thing. But at what point in your mind were you like, shit, I got a chance? Were there people kind of from the outside, were you hearing those talks like, hey, this guy is an NBA prospect?
Yeah. Like I would say the first game, like if I have to say like one point where that happened, like where I was like, yeah, man, like there, yeah. So I would say that game, it was in a Bahamas tournament, and it was pretty much those three games where the first one I fouled out. So I was playing pretty well, but I just fouled out. I don't know, but it was maybe like what some calls, but I was also just like too like physical with like my hands, like whatever. So I fouled out, and then people were telling me like, man, like just stay in the game. Just like whatever you do, just make sure you just stay in the game. Like you can help us, just make sure you don't foul out next time. So I was like, okay, bet. Like I'm like make sure I have the chance to even like stay on the court. Like I'm not gonna like take myself out of the game for no reason. So the next game, I think it was Arizona State, and it was pretty much a must win because we lost the first one, which we could have and should have won, and then this one was a good team, but like we came in and we need a win, and we're gonna get it. And that game, I played. I played pretty good. I had like 21 points for the first time in my career. I remember like all the like I had some offensive rebounds, big plays and stuff, and then we won. So it was like, and then you go with coach to the interview room, and then you come in, and everything, all that stuff. Like I never had any of that. So I came in, and after the game, like everybody's like it's one of the best feelings because like especially like playing good feels good, but like knowing that what you did like helped with the win, and it was a big part of the win. That's the best for me. So at that point, I was like, I actually like helped Syracuse to a win, and like I was important in that, and then like that gave me that next level of confidence to like take on like a big role in the team, and also have that like you said, I don't really like to like look and talk about the future as in like it's gonna be like this or gonna be like that, especially with NBA stuff, because I definitely believe at this point it's definitely possible, and I'm right there. I can almost touch it, but I have to do the work.
No
that's
doubt.
that's what it is for me. I got to do it, and then we'll see. So 100%, like I hear what you're saying. That's definitely with that confidence that stayed like throughout the season.